What's going on, guys? One love out to everybody. We got UFC Fight Night, Grasso versus Shevchenko Part 2 predictions. A little bit of breakdown here, guys. I'm gonna fly through this real quick. Fight is today at 7 p.m. Before I get started, hit the thumbs up button. Also subscribe to this channel. Also check out my Patreon account for my face-off prediction and pop plays. You can also donate to this channel to my PayPal account. Alright, 11 fights on the card here, guys. A rematch between Alex Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko. So yeah, let's start this out real quick. We got Kevin Holland and Jack Della on the card too. Start the show real quicker. First fight here, we got Josefine Knutsson versus Marnik Man. Marnik Man is a short notice, I believe. Josefine here, more kickboxing background there. Striking not bad. Have a fast roundhouse kick on her, a lead roundhouse. We'll look for takedowns. Feel like she's a little bit more seasoned, more well-rounded, experienced fighter here. So I'm gonna go with Josefine for the win here, guys. I'm gonna say Josefine by decision. And Josefine I give 70%, and Manik I give 30. All right, but still be careful though. I mean, like I said, sometimes when it comes to the women fights, you know, it's sometimes it can be upsets, even with the guys too. But you know, a lot of women fights could be some upsets, so be careful with that. But I think Josefine should have this though. Next fighter, we got Charlie Campbell versus Alex Cháirez. I believe Charlie Campbell is a short notice here, coming off the Contender Series. He's not bad. Coming from the gym here, Adjamin Sterling, Longo and Weidman gym there. He's not bad. Striking is not bad. That power in his hand. He will mix it up. Reyes here hasn't fought in Reyes' last fight was in 2017 against Mike Perry. So we haven't seen him in a minute. Like it's not even a long time. His last fight was 2017 against Mike Perry, and Mike Perry's not even in the UFC anymore. I think Mike Perry is doing bare knuckle boxing, so that's how long it's been. But I'm gonna go with Charlie Campbell here. I feel like he's just been more active and was in the Contender Series. I believe he lost though, but he actually could have won that fight, but he kind of rushed against Chris Duncan, because they had Chris Duncan in problems, and then he rushed. He just came in, left his hand down, chin is up. I'm gonna go Campbell here. I'm gonna say Campbell by KO TKO, guys, in the first round. But still be careful though. I'm gonna say Campbell 70% and Reyes 30. Next fight here, guys, we got Tracy Cortez versus Jasmine Jazovic. This fight is a little close. Cortez more wrestling background there. We'll let the hands go, but she's more of a grinder, and she's pretty good with the takedowns. Jasmine here, more of a lengthy striker. I'm gonna have the reach, but you know, she can get taken down though. But she's a grinder also. So this to me is an even fight, to be honest with you, and I'll be careful with it. But I'm gonna go with Cortez there. I'm gonna say Cortez by decision. You know, there's some more pushing, you know, the takedowns and kind of keeping the fight where she want to keep it, which is on the mat. Now I think Jasmine gonna want to more stand up and strike. All right, so Cortez by decision here, guys. Next fighter, we got Edgar Cháirez versus Daniel Laxardo. This is the next even one here, man, because even though Edgar, you know, coming from Alex Morona gym there, you know, he's not a bad fighter, you know, and we see him against Tashihara here, which he gave him Tashihara a little issue, you know what I'm saying? He had him a little bit in that fight. He was kind of up and down. He's a well-rounded guy, pack power, will also look for the submission. Is it Alex Morona or Brandon Morona? I think it's Brandon Morona he trains with. Sorry, I said Alex. He trains with Brandon Morona. Yeah, I think they're like training, yeah, like training partners, spar together and stuff like that. But Daniel here, on the other hand, aggressive guy, you know, but he's a one-hitter, quitter kind of dude. First round, usually he finishes fights, but he's not. He's been losing back to back, like 4 times in a row. But he shows the same thing every day. He does the same thing every single time. He goes in there in the first round, looks real good. Then if he can't finish you, then he's gassed out. So against Cháirez here, you know, a guy like Cháirez is a very durable guy, man. He's a hard guy to put out like that, unless you can submit him. And Daniel has submissions too, you know, but he can't keep a pace. Daniel can't keep a pace. He gets tired. If the fight go longer than first, then most likely, you know, we can see Edgar winning the fight, and Daniel losing. So it's still a toss-up though, because Daniel could improve, but four losses in a row. Yeah, I don't know, man. I say, and he does the same thing every time. I'll go with Edgar, man. I must say Edgar by KOTQ in the first round, man, but still 50-50. And it's a fight you should be careful with too, guys. Alright. Next fight here, we got Roman Kopylov versus Josefine. Roman Kopylov, I think Josefine is a short notice, right? Yep, I think so. Man, I just feel that that Roman is a more skilled fighter here, man. He's a more technical, skilled, seasoned fighter with ground and striking. Maybe not as much as a wrestling like what Fem have, but it's just striking alone, pinpoint accurate, man. And we see Josh in his last fight. I mean, he can get touched up. You know what I'm saying? Even Jamie Pickett was touching him up a little bit in that fight. You know, there was points that Jamie Pickett was kind of looking kind of, you know, indecent in the fight. With Josh here, Josh, you know, he would look for more to wrestle and more kind of grind than you know. But he dropped the ball though, and also like I say, his striking is not on the level of Roman. I feel Roman is just a way better fighter than him, in my opinion. But again, upsets can happen, but Josh would have to, I don't know, man, catch him with something, you know, hit him with a punch and catch him, hurt him, and put him down and submit him properly. It's possibilities there. But I must say Roman Kopylov here by KOTQ, guys, in the first round. I gave Roman 70% and I gave Fem obviously 30. Alright. Next fighter we got Lupita Godinez versus Elise Reed. Lupita, strong wrestling strong wrestling base. We keep a high pace and you striking is not bad. Throw a lot of volume there. You know, get you in the pocket. You know, we'll hold against the cage and look for takedowns. Elise Reed more of a karate base there. Can get taken down. Usually spend the entire round on our back. So I mean, for reasons for that, man. I mean, I'm going with Lupita here for the win. Not saying that Reed can't win. And like I said, women, you know, like woman fights can be some upsets. You know, Reed could come in here and touch her up, you know, with shots and keep a distance and don't get taken down. But every single fight we see Elise Reed, she's getting taken down. And Lupita is known for taking you down. She's known for grinding in this fight, man. So I'm going to go with Lupita. I'm going to say Lupita by 60% and Elise 40%. Next fight, we've got Fernando Padilla versus Kyle Nelson. Padilla gonna have a 5-inch reach here. From what I see from him in his last fight, man, he looked pretty good, man. They got a nice little jab on him, sharp jab, very powerful hitter. His ground game is pretty good. He's a pretty well-rounded guy, man. What he did here against Julian Rosa, man, he was pretty sharp. He was pinpoint accurate in that fight. Kyle Nelson, though, is more on the slower side of things. Not the best fight IQ, but could be a little more experienced doing that kind of way as far as the guys he fought. He probably fight tougher competition than what Padilla fight, you know. But yeah, man, this was a tough one, man, because like I said, you know, we see guys like this, you know, making a debut. Yeah, he's made his debut against Julian Rosa and he looks good. But what was he doing, you know, after that? You know, lost his to Spike Carl. You know, lost to Danny Gay way back. Man, he's been fighting for a little bit, you know, but from 215, but I mean, the skills though, if you look at the skills, is Kyle Nelson any kind of skill set to, you know, to beat that guy? I don't think he has the skills. I think that guy's more of a skill fighter. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Pandezl. I'm gonna go with Padilla. Fernando Padilla here. I'm gonna say Padilla by I'm gonna say by KOTQ in the first round here. But like I said, when you see guys like this, yeah, he looks good his last fight, but you just never know. And a guy like Kyle, guys are kind of a tough dude too. You know, he will come, you know, come forward and just keep marching you down. But like I said, his IQ is not that great. So I'm gonna give it to Fernando here by KOTQ in the first round, guys. All right. Next fight here, man. Flying through these real quick. Man. Flying through them real quick. We got Daniel Zellhuber versus Christian Gagos. Daniel here is a rangy guy, man. Striking is pretty decent. Well-rounded skill. Got 6-inch reach. This kid is not bad, you know. When he's on, which he's been always on, except for his fight against Trey Hogan, where he wasn't on at all. He wasn't doing much in that fight. Will he do that against Gagos? Possibility. I mean, he could, but you know, Trey Goggin was moving in that fight in and out on him. I think that was a problem. He couldn't really get a lockdown on that on Trey because of his movement. Trey was just bouncing in. He was laterally moving and, you know, staying on the outside and using more footwork. Giagos, on the other hand, skilled guy, you know, kind of a veteran here. He's well-rounded, you know, he loves the ground, but he would gas out though after the first. And Trey Goggin has better endurance than Giagos does. Giagos would gas out, man. He would gas out after first, but Giagos could be more, and I won't say the smarter fight IQ, but he just gasses out after first though, man. I mean, that's just basically it. But then he's experienced though. See what I'm saying? But he can't keep a pace. He can't keep a pace, and he can get hurt in the foot, and he can get submitted too. He doesn't keep a good pace, man. That's the thing. He may look good in first, but then if he doesn't finish Daniel or put him out, then it's gonna go downhill for him because he doesn't keep a pace. He's not able to go long range or long distance. Still a tough one here though, because I believe Giagos may have a chance here, especially by submission. But man, it's just the jab from Daniel. Giagos' footwork is not the best. That's the only reason why I'm looking more towards Daniel, because when you look at Giagos' fight start standing up, his footwork is not the best, man. He doesn't really move around like that. He can get flat-footed and sit in front of you. You know, it's not like he's consistently in motion. Like when Daniel fought Trey was always in motion, and kind of, you know, that's what gave Daniel a little problem there. With Giagos here, Giagos may move around a lateral a little bit, but then he freezes when he's on his heel and toes flat. So I'm gonna go with Daniel here. I'm gonna say Daniel by KO TQ in the first round. I'm gonna say Daniel 60 and Giagos 40, but I still be careful though, man. Because experience goes a long way, man. But it's just he can't carry the pace, and he's there to get hit. Next fight, we got Raul Rosas Jr. versus Terrence Mitchell. Ross here is decent wrestling, you know. Still needs some work though. He's a young little kid still, you know. Still he needs some more experience too. But he will improve over time, you know. And maybe he may improve more in this fight. His last fight there, he lost. You know, he just, you know, that's just what it is, man. You know, you know, I guess age and number though still, but you have to face, you know, people, and there's adversaries that you have to go against, you know what I mean, and face tough competitions and deal with certain things. If you don't deal with those things that's going to give you resistance and push you hard, you know, to that limit, then you're not going to know. You know, I don't feel Ross has been pushed until he fought Christian Rodriguez, and he's like, damn, you know, there's always someone out there who, you know, who got your card, man. So that's just experience, and the only way you're gonna know if you fight or go up against people who are kind of almost better than you, or close, and they push you hard, then you're gonna know. But if you don't get that resistance, then how are you gonna know? You're gonna always feel like you're the best, like, oh man, I can go through everybody. No, if you're going through everybody and no one beating them, then it's different. But then if you're not facing, you know, who has Rua's face? Nobody. You know what I'm saying? Jay Perrin, I mean, then they won the Contender Series. I was like, oh man, this kid's gonna go through everybody. No, because these guys like Christian Rodriguez, experienced guy, man. No, Terrence Mitchell is different. I mean, Terrence Mitchell has been on the Ultimate Fighter show, but he doesn't have the tools like what Christian Rodriguez have. And then Terrence is more explosive. But then if he can't get the submission on you or lock in something, then he will fade after first. So this fight is fit for Ruas to win it, because it's a fight where, you know, he's actually the better fighter here now, you know. Against his other opponent there that he lost to, he wasn't, because he didn't have the experience like that. The other guy has more experience and saw things and been there and had that pressure and has that resistance from training and facing tougher competition. I'll go with Ruas here. I'm gonna say Ruas by submission in the first round, most likely a rear naked choke. Not taking anything away from Terrence Mitchell, but what I say from Terrence Mitchell, yeah, you know, he will look for submission and things like that, and you know, but he tend to give things up easily. He can get swept, you know, give his back, you know, even his striking, you know, he's not tight with everything, you know, there's a lot of holes. All right. Next, the co-main event here: Kevin Holland versus Della Mandela. Mandela, I know I might pronounce that wrong. Holland here, skilled striker, man. We all know Kevin Holland. He's well-rounded. 8-inch of reach, which is massive. He's at massive reach, and 3-inch of height. His takedown defense got better, but then he was fighting Michael Chiesa, which Michael Chiesa is not even, you know, that guy's doing more broadcasting than actually fighting. You understand? You know, so I mean, the last fight was with Kevin Holland, but before then was Sean Brady in 2021. So I'm not saying Kevin Holland didn't win that fight good. You know, it was a good fight. He won it, you know, outright. You know, it was a good performance by him. But the thing about Kevin Holland, you know, he will fade as the fight go along, so he will slow down. A guy like Jack, this is a tough one to call, man. This fight is actually a 50-50. You know, a guy like Jack is freaking, this guy is durable as hell. He's like this guy is like a zombie, man. I mean, he takes a lot of hit though in the fight, but this a guy will bite down and take a hit for hit. But he's a skilled guy though. He has the ground. You know, he's pretty well rounded. Sets a high pace, power, boxing. His boxing, body work. His body work is pretty good. He works the body and go to the head. You know, and his takedowns are not bad. Can get taken down though. And this is a fight where Holland possibly could get takedowns in this fight. But the problem with that though, can Holland keep the pace though? You know, if Holland is taking down, striking, taking down, striking, that's gonna be too much for Holland, even though it's a 3-round fight. But I don't know, man. This one's a tough one. And then it just, what I'm looking at here is durability and the stamina, because both guys are skilled. So I'm looking at the endurance and the stamina. Even though Holland got the long reach, I don't think Holland can put out Jack though. Jack is durable, man. But I can see Jack putting out Holland though. But you know, it's man, it's just this fight is more, even though a 3-round fight, it's the pace. And the 3-round fight probably fit Holland to actually win it, but man, Brady put up a high pace, and he's durable. He's durable, man. I mean, Holland would have to knock him out, but then to knock him out, he could counter him, but Jack usually gets in the pocket and works the body, put that high pressure on you. I'm gonna go with Jack here, man, but I could be wrong here, guys. I mean, I obviously, of course, I'm gonna watch the face-offs and put the face-offs on my Patreon, so check out the Patreon for the face-offs. But I'm gonna have to go with Jack here, but like I said, when I watch the face-off, I may make changes though. But yeah, this is a tough one, man. You know, a guy like Kevin Holland, you know, if he comes to fight, he can do well, and sometimes he just doesn't do as good. A guy like Jack will put that pressure on him and don't back down. Jack is not going to back down. Now, I can see Kevin Holland backing down though. So I'm going to go with Jack here. I'm going to say Jack by decision, guys. I'm not confident. Main fight in the card, we got Alex Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. This one, I watched the fight all over again, the first fight. And from what I've seen, man, Grasso hands are pretty good, man. Which we know already, but her hands got better. And her ground game got way better. Just the way how she enters the pocket in 2 combinations, quick at the movement. The defense is pretty good. Yeah, man. The thing that I notice about this fight is that Shevchenko is a good martial artist, and I respect Shevchenko. Everybody on this card is all love, but I think the boxing is what the issue here. You know, I think Grasso has the better hands. I think Shevchenko has more the kicks. And even the takedowns, yeah, you know, Shevchenko can get the takedowns, but from what I've seen, she's not able to like hold her down. You know, at points she can, but it's not consistent. And Shevchenko is not really a wrestler like that. You know what I'm saying? She's more stand up. You know, and it's just, I don't know. I just feel like I'm not saying Shevchenko is not the good fighter here, but I think Grasso may probably have her, man. I think, you know, some fighters, some people, you just got your card. I think this is one of it, and this is a 50-55 for me, guys. And I like Valentina Shevchenko, but I just don't really see. I mean, I don't really see how she would beat her. I mean, a head kick, probably, you know, catch her with a kick, yeah, it's possible. But from everything I've seen in that first round, she's not able to, just the boxing, you know, she's not really able to keep up with the boxing. Maybe her timing was off in that fight. Maybe, you know, I heard she was, you know, Grasso was more in a southpaw. You know, switching, she's not used to that. I mean, there's different kind of things that could cause it, but maybe she was off. Maybe Shevchenko was off in the fight. But from what I see, it's just like, I don't know. Maybe she come back and probably do better. It's a possibility. Yeah, that's a strong possibility there. But I'm gonna go with Grasso here. I'm gonna say Grasso by decision, guys, and it's a 50-50 for me, man. And Shevchenko could win. She could come back with some adjustments, you know, from what she learned from the first fight. But the first fight was, you know, she actually got submitted in the fourth. It's not like she, you know, you went to decision. She got finished. So it was a clear-cut win, man. It wasn't like, it's like, oh, you know, close split decision. No. I'm going to go Grasso here. I'm going to say Grasso by decision, though. 50-50. Quick look at the odds here, guys, we're working with. This is crazy odds here. I know these odds are going to be high. Yeah, here we go, right here. They're high, right? Oh, man, they're massively high. Oh, gosh. Oh, man. Yeah, look at this one of his favorite cards here, guys. Jasmine here. Cortez is 130. I don't disagree with that. It's a close fight. I will give Cortez the edge here, but close to even, which is great. Edgar and Cháirez and Daniel, no, Edgar shouldn't be 200 and something. You know why? Because Daniel fought a couple fights in UFC already, facing tough competition. Yeah, he lost, but he's been facing tough competition. There's no way Edgar should be this high. If it's anything, this fight is an even fight, because Daniel could beat Edgar. But again, you have to look back at the first round issue. If he can't knock out Edgar and finish him in the first, then Daniel would fade, because Edgar put a high pace in him. Edgar got more endurance. So that's probably why it looks like that. Which, like I said, man, you know, Daniel would have to catch him with something or submit him. It's possible. But be careful with this one, though. But Daniel should, Edgar should win, but the odds is too high, though. Josefine and Roman Kopylov. Damn, Roman is like 300 and something. Damn. I mean, I really can't disagree with that. I think the better fighter is Roman, though, to be honest with you. So I don't disagree, but still be careful. Lupita, 300 and something. Man, these people are high. They're high. Man. Yeah, I can see that. You know, Lupita beating Reed here, but man, I just feel that she's too high too, man. I mean, when it comes to women fight, man, I don't know, man. You guys have to be careful. I mean, could Reed have an edge here? I don't really see it. She can stay long distance and use her striking and avoid takedowns. Reed always gets takedown and put her back. And she's getting taken down by people who are not really as good as a wrestler as Lupita. So Lupita should win. So yeah. But I disagree with the odds. It should be a little lower. Della and Nelson. Della is way too high, dudes. She's way too high. Be careful with this. If there's any fight here, I would say be careful with is Della. And the reason for that, because Nelson, you know what I mean, he could win. Della only fought one time in the UFC, and you know what I'm saying, he got a good win there, but still, it's a quick win. You know what I mean? If he could, and a guy like Knutsson is a pretty durable guy. He's not, you know, he's not a guy that's gonna get hit and get knocked out like straight away. You know, so this one here is the one I'd be really careful with. The Della and Knutsson. I think the odds is really wrong with this. I don't feel Della should be this high. Yeah, a little favor here, but not this high. This right here is ridiculous. Giagos and Daniel, damn, yeah, okay, Daniel 300. This is the next one too. I'll be careful with too, man, because Daniel sometimes, I mean, he only lost once, but if the guy can get upper hand on him and move around and, you know, stay on the outside and avoid his strikes, he could lose. Can Giagos do that? I don't feel so, because his footwork, his movement, and his endurance just not gonna last. He's not durable enough. So I don't disagree with Daniel there, but like I said, my experience goes a long way, man. So these two fights here, there could be dogs coming in, so be careful. Be careful. Ross and Terrence. Ross is freaking, this guy. I can see why though. I mean, I guess Terrence Mitchell, he just needs to get to Terrence Mitchell back, which I feel he can. So to be honest, man, what I see from Mitchell, man, is just Raul Rosas should win this fight, man. Should. So I don't disagree with the odds, but still be careful. Meaning that 750, I mean, whatever you're doing, I wouldn't even mess with this fight, to be honest. You know, it doesn't make any sense. You know, you're gonna parlay roasting or whatever you're gonna do for 750 or for 800. This doesn't make any sense. Jack Maddalena and Kevin Holland. Mandela is a close fight here. Maddalena is a close fight here. A little bit of favorite, not a big. It's not bad, to be honest. I still be wary though, you know, because Kevin Holland experience and faced tougher competition, to be honest, and he has experience. So be careful with this one, man. So I saw with Jack in his last fight, you know, but the last fight that guy came to fight, and you know, the fight was a pretty good fight there, but you can see that Jack was in a little bit of problems. You know, got taken down. You know, mostly the wrestling and takedowns what really hold him down. You know, but he came back and won the fight by split. But I still be careful though, man. You know, Kevin Holland can win this fight. Valentino and Grasso, okay. Valentino at 166. I mean, I can see why former champion is a rematch here. She been on a long streak of winning. And Grasso coming here and just get a win from her, but a very impressive win though. Yeah. I'll say this fight is even. Yeah, man. It's an even fight, man. But I'll go with Grasso, like I said, but it's an even fight for me. Alright. That's it right there, guys. My odds breakdown. Don't forget to subscribe to my Patreon account there, guys, and hit the thumbs up button. And I appreciate the love from everybody and all the donations, and you guys keep on kicking, man.